Figure it out!
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Figure It Out Productions. The following video is part of our Quick Shoot series and is intended to aid the Dreamcast and gaming community. Does that not look completely ridiculous? 3 of these things? Okay, I did a video on this one. Well, this one I did a specific video on. Then I got this one, and I did a video comparing the two. This is not the same thing. It might trick you. This is the GDX GD-ROM Duplicator. My understanding, this is not a development kit like these two things. Like I said, there are videos specifically about these things. If you're curious what a development kit is, please go watch those. Anyway, this one, like I said, is a GDX GD-ROM Duplicator, and apparently it was property of IDOS, according to this sticker right there. I don't know how easily you can see that, but that's what it says. And it's got a number, 01174, whatever. Anyway, this is yet again something Raymond sent me. Curious who Raymond is? There's a video of an unboxing of a package I got from Raymond, although it does not have this in it, but it's just this guy named Raymond who just decided to send me a bunch of awesome stuff because he's awesome. And my understanding from this thing is that what you do, its sole function was to rip games, rip Dreamcast games, then basically clone or map out the data, store it, and then burn it off when the time was right onto a GD writer. Now, I did a video on the GD writers separately. Basically, in short, well, you can see the video here if you want, but in short, this thing just burns Dreamcast games via GDRs, which are not CDRs, GDRs. They're a specific form of media that, yeah, they're gigabyte disc recordables. Can't believe I messed it up twice. And then you'd end up with something kind of cool, like a copy of Hellgate, like I have here. And this one's a CDR, and this one's a GDR. See the difference? Well, maybe you do, maybe you don't. The camera kind of sucks. But yeah, and the reason this case is so nice is because of a guy named Gary Walton. I would highly suggest you check him out and get these awesome custom covers that he makes. I've made a video specifically about this. If you want to see this, video there somewhere. I don't know. Yeah. And I also said that whatever, yeah, in the previous video where I talked about the GD writer, I also said that when you make a disc like that, you need a specific type of boot disc to make it work. And this is called the System Disc 2, and apparently mine was owned by some guy named Martin Welling. Martin Welling, if you're watching this, I have what used to be your disc. It's mine now. Sorry. Also given to me by Raymond. Yay, Raymond. Okay. But just before I was about to make this video, something kind of occurred to me. I did a video on this thing. This is this dev box thing that lets you program controllers and VMUs, except it predates the final version of the VMU. Like, these ports are completely different. See the video on this here, I guess. And it uses Sega Saturn controller ports. And the limited information I had on this thing said that it was designed to program controllers, but prior to these Dreamcast dev kits that had Dreamcast controllers. The theory goes that Sega was going to do something similar with the Saturn to Dreamcast the way Sony did with PlayStation to PlayStation 2, which was to keep the same controller port and to make it backwards compatible. They eventually scrapped that idea, but obviously they released that thing that I just showed, so that means they had advanced along on this process, but that means they'd also released development kits that didn't have controller ports. Like this one. But I can't, I mean, this is obviously a different looking thing. I mean, it has a little screen there, it doesn't have these kinds of switches. Yeah, like I said, it doesn't have the controllers. It is possible that these two things could be connected and you could use a Sega Saturn controller on this thing. I honestly do not know. Unfortunately, there's no way to test it because this requires a special cable I do not own, which is kind of unfortunate. But, and yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, this thing works, I know, because Raymond showed it to me right before he sent it to me. Again, Raymond is just so awesome. This dude sent me this stuff for free. This guy is great. Yeah, he's the coolest dude. But yeah, he sent me this stuff, and I know it totally works. The only thing I don't know is if this could connect to that. Literally, this theory occurred to me like a couple minutes before I made this video. So obviously it's a very undercooked kind of thought. But look, more buttons! I like buttons. These are cool because it has very specific buttons right there on the front. These don't have buttons. But yeah, I really don't know what else to tell you. If anybody out there knows if this would connect to this and then it would start using this like as its controller interface, you know, hook me up. Maybe if we have the cable, we can work something out. Maybe we can make this happen. As if it matters in the slightest, but we could maybe make it happen. Sorry for the jump cut there, but I just noticed something and I figured it had to be stated. One thing I forgot to mention was the idea of this thing was to connect to the GD writer and stand separate from a computer, so it doesn't need to attach anything. Unlike when you use the GD writer with one of these, where it would have to be programmed by a computer, this thing would just function on its own. And that theory I floated about this connecting to that, it might work. You might be able to use the Saturn controllers, but you would have to be to use this screen, because I double checked on the back of this thing. There are no AV ports of any kind. So unless it either can play games through a computer that it's connected to, I mean, try to imagine this. It would have to use the Saturn controller, which would be connected to this thing, which would then connect through an SCSI cable, kind of like this one, into the device, where it would try to play a game, but the signal would only come out through another SCSI cable into your computer, probably through some kind of program. That's the only way I can think that this could interface with that, other than just like using a Saturn controller to control the 4 buttons here that this does. So probably my theory is wrong about these two connecting, but it's a nice idea. I mean, it kind of makes sense. I mean, what else can this do? And this doesn't have controller ports. Controller box, no controller ports. Let's somebody magically make that sort of happen.
Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe if you so desire. However, we'd really appreciate it if you'd check out our other videos that are of a higher production caliber. Thank you.